What's up, dudes? Welcome back to the channel. I told you I'd see you again today. Today we had the Q&A live stream from the devs. I actually forgot this was happening, but we did have some interesting information. I'm going to give you guys the cliff notes of this, so we're not going way in too far on any of these things. We are doing the cliff notes and just going over them, and I'll be giving my opinions near the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. So jumping into the first part of this, the first big information we have is actually about two perks that currently terrorize the game, and that is Circle of Healing and Dead Hard. We don't have any extra information on Dead Hard other than they are looking into how it works and like how much speed, how much of a speed buff you get when you use the perk. So nothing with the invincibility, like the invincibility frames or anything like that, just the speed burst that you get, which is, I don't know, we'll talk about it here in a minute. But Circle of Healing is something that we actually know the change for, so I'll throw that up on the screen and we'll go through it. It says Boom Circle of Healing, that is the perk. Old was 90, 95, and 100% bonus to all healing speeds at different tiers, and the new is 65, 70, and 75% bonuses to all healing speeds. So that is a pretty significant nerf. That is a pretty good change to this perk. I want to see how it plays into the meta of the game now, to see if it's still going to be as beneficial with like a green med kit and some faster healing add-ons for that med kit. I want to see how that works, but overall, pretty decent change. Next up is probably the craziest one. Borrowed Tom has a possibility to be base kit. So the question was asked if Borrowed Tom or Decisive Strike would ever become base kit to prevent tunneling, camping, stuff like that. And all that the dev had to say was there's no possibility of like Decisive Strike. There's no plans for Decisive Strike to become base kit. Asked multiple times, same answer every time, just Decisive Strike. So Borrowed Tom is looking like it could possibly become base kit for survivors. Next up, we do have some skill-based matchmaking info, or rather lack thereof. No skill-based matchmaking changes are planned to happen still, and there are no plans to make your MMR rating visible whatsoever. So there you have it. We're all yelling for it. Still nothing. Next up, bots will not replace players in games of Dead by Daylight if someone leaves the match. The devs did bring up a good point. I will say that, you know, a bot will never play like a real player, and you want bots until you get left on the hook while the bot is hiding in a locker or slowly crouching up to you with the killer right in your face. So that's a pretty good point in my opinion, and a pretty good reason to not add bots in. Yeah, it would benefit the killer, but at the same time, how much would it screw over the survivors? So that's something I actually do have to agree with there. And then next up, Ghostface, Legion, and Twins reworks are coming. We did talk about the Ghostface and the Legion rework the last time they had a Q&A. They did talk about it, and I'm pretty sure one of them said, you know, it would be in this next mid-chapter, but then they went back on that today and said, look, we never said, but I'm pretty sure they did say that. I'm not gonna go find the footage or anything, because there's no point, you know, that's not gonna help anything. But they did add a new character to this, and that is Twins. Twins will be getting a rework after Ghostface and Legion, so they'll be getting some love. So that is, as they said, a bit down the road. Like, Ghostface and Legion are apparently still a bit down the road for rework, so the Twins is even further out from that, which is unfortunate, but it is nice that it's coming. And then next up, probably the most surprising thing that was mentioned is possibly a new game mode. Many times in the past when they've been asked about this, they basically said, you know, we're not adding a new game mode, we don't want to split the player base or anything, but this time they were more open to it and said they were thinking about ideas and testing things. What could they do to not split the base too much, or to benefit whichever, you know, both sides playing different game modes with queue times and everything. So they were more receptive to the question, and it sounded like they had some ideas in the hole. So that's some pretty interesting information, and I'm curious to see how it all pans out. And then next up, we do have the lunar event officially announced. It is called Lurking Stripes. I guess this is the Year of the Tiger, and it will take place from January 25th to February 8th. So that's pretty cool. We did have some other information. We had some killer data, a few other things like kill rate for maps. We had some a blood point code, likes, camera, BP. You guys make sure to use that. But overall, nothing else very groundbreaking that they talked about. So that's pretty much the cliff notes of this Q&A live stream. For my opinions, it was basically soon the live stream. Every question was soon, or we can't talk about that, or no plan. And a lot of these things, when it comes down to it, not even like really being entitled, it's just a lot of the things that get shot down by these devs, by the Dead by Daylight devs, BHBR, it's a lot of things that seem like common sense additions to the game, and they just always say it's too much work, or it's too hard to implement, or, you know, it just wouldn't do the game any good, when, you know, so many people are hollering for it and yelling for it, and so many other games on a smaller scale than Dead by Daylight have implemented things like this. So I don't know, it just seems like a can't do attitude from the devs, and it's a little bit frustrating here and there. We get soon, and we can't talk about that, and there's no plans. So I don't know, man. It's a little bit frustrating. I am happy with some of the changes that will be made in the future of Dead by Daylight according to this Q&A, but there are still a lot of things that I'd like to see changed, and a lot of additions outside of changes to the game that I wish they would, you know, at least try before shooting it down. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. Thank you all so much for watching. I'd love for you guys to let me know what you think about all of this in the comments down below. What part of the Q&A are you the most excited for? What are you the most disappointed by? Because the entire chat was going nuts about being disappointed by a lot of things, which, look, I sympathize. I understand. There were a few things that I was really disappointed hearing that there were no plans for. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching again. My name is Tooten. I've been your host, and I'll see you dudes in the vlog. Peace out.